What are like or similar terms? Like terms are the terms that have the same variables raised to the same powers. Only the coefficients, numbers in front, we also call them numerical coefficients, can be different. So for example, here we have 3x and 7x. Both have just x, and the exponents of the two x's are equal to 1. So we will consider them as like terms. For the second example, same reasoning, both have xy and the exponents of the two variables are the same. And then for the third example, again, the two terms are considered like terms, although the numerical coefficients are different. The variable a, both of the variable a, the exponents are 2, and also for the b. Okay, so these terms are not considered not like terms. So for 3x and 3y, obviously that's x and y, they are different. For the x and x squared, although both variables are x, the first term x has an exponent of 1, and then the second exponent x has an exponent of 2. So that means they are not like terms. For the third example, both have a and b, but for the first term, the exponent of a is 1, and the exponent of the a in the second term is square. So we cannot consider this as like terms. Alright, so let's check. Are the following terms like or not? Okay, so for the first one, we have 10a squared b cubed and negative 4a cubed b cubed. What do you think? Okay, that is correct. They are like terms. How about the second one? Can we consider the two terms like? That is correct. They're not, because the x variable, the exponents of those two are different, similar to the y. The exponents of the y variables are also different. So that's right. They are not like terms. How about number 3? Alright, yep, that is correct. They're also like terms. Although the position of m and n are different, I mean, that's also a possibility. The positions may be different, but the variables are the same, and the exponents of those variables are also the same. So we can consider number 3, those two terms, as like. Number 4, that is correct. They are not. Number 5, that is correct. They are similar. The x's have an exponent 3, and the y have the y variables, they have exponents 2. Alright. Okay, so here I'll just want to introduce to you the different types of polynomials or expressions, algebraic expressions. So for the first one, we have monomial. It's an algebraic expression that consists of only one term, as you can see in the examples. So you have to take note that monomials do not include addition or subtraction signs. For the binomial, we have two terms. So each term is a binomial, can itself be a monomial. So meaning, if we consider this, that's a monomial. But if we consider the 2, then that means it's binomial. And they are separated by either a plus or a minus. So multinomial is a more general term for an algebraic expression with 2 or more terms. So for the first one, that's what we call a trinomial, having 3 terms. So the second one has 4 terms, and then the third one has also 4 terms. So multinomial just means many terms. So binomials 2, trinomials 3, they're very specific cases of multinomials. So as you can see here, the summary of the table: monomial 1 term, binomial 2 terms, trinomial 3 terms, multinomial 2 or more terms actually. So alright, let's go to the addition and subtraction of like terms. For the first example, so to add or subtract like terms, the one thing that we have to consider is that the term should be like or similar in order for us to perform the mathematical operation. So here, the terms that are similar are 3x and negative 2x. So 4y, we will just leave that alone. And then we will only perform the operation on the numerical coefficients. So 3 minus 2 is equal to 1x plus 4y. So we don't really need to write the 1. That's a redundancy. There we only have 1x. So this will just be x plus 4y. So for the second example, we have 5a and then negative 2a. They are like terms. So these are the first two terms we can combine. That will just be 3a. And then, of course, that's positive 3b. And then positive 7b. If we add the 2, that will be equal to 10b. Alright, so for the third example, we can add negative 6xy and positive 3xy, and that will give us 9xy. Again, we just need to perform the operation on the numerical coefficients or the numbers. For the variables, we just need to copy paste them or just copy them. So negative 2x and an x. So remember that x has a numerical coefficient of y. So that's negative 2 plus 1, which is equal to negative 1. Again, there's no need for us to write the 1. So for the meantime, we'll just write it there. And then to simplify that, that will just be 9xy minus x. Alright, so let's consider this example number 4. So we need to find terms similar to 4m squared n. So the focus is going to be on the literal coefficients or the variables. We need to find term that has m squared and at the same time n. So I think we're looking at this term. That's an m squared and n. We can combine the numerical coefficients. That's 4 plus 2, which is equal to 6. And then for the negative 3 and then mn squared, that's the same as 5mn squared. So we can combine negative 3 plus 5, which is equal to positive 2, mn squared. Alright, so for number 5, we have 7x squared plus 7x squared y. Okay, let's find a term similar to that. I think this is similar to this term because of the x squared y. And at the same time, the third, we have 3 terms here that are similar. So that negative x squared y. So this is 7 plus 3, which is equal to 10 minus 1. So that's 9x squared y. So for the remaining 2 terms, I believe they are similar. So we can add the 2, that's negative 7 minus 2 or negative 5 minus 2 or negative 5 plus negative 2. That equals negative 7xy squared. Okay, so let's answer this, addition and subtraction of binomials. Alright, so for addition, there's nothing really special here. We can just get rid of those parentheses. So that's 3x and 5x, and that's going to give us 8x. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Alright, so for subtraction, we can just copy first the first term, the first binomial. That's 7a minus 3b. And then for the second one, we need to distribute the negative sign to 2a and b. So that 2a will now be equal to negative 2a, and that positive b will now be equal to negative b. So once we get rid of those parentheses, we can now combine the similar terms. So that's 7a and negative 2a, so that's 5a. And then we have negative 3b and negative b, that's negative 4b. They have the same sign, so we need to add them. Okay, so here we have 3 binomials, and the operations are just addition, so that means we can just get rid of the parentheses. So we can only do this if the operations are addition. So just take this one. We have a plus and a plus. So we can combine x, 2x, and 4x. So this x is a 1, so that's 1x. 2x is 3x plus 4x is 7x. And then 2, negative 3. Okay, let's combine the positive first. 2 and 1 is 3, minus 3 is equal to 0. So the answer will just be 7x. Okay, so here we cannot just get rid of the parentheses just like what we did in the fourth example. We can do that in the first binomial though. So 6y minus 5, just copy paste that. For the second one, to eliminate the parentheses, we have to distribute the negative sign. So that this will be negative 2y minus 3. And then for the last binomial, since again the operation here is subtraction, we need to distribute that. So that's negative y plus 2. So negative 2y minus 3, negative y plus 2. Okay, let's combine the terms that are the same. 6y, that's negative 2y and negative y. So 6y minus 2y is 4y minus 1 is 3. And then we have a negative 5, we have a negative 3, and then a positive 2. So negative 5 and negative 3 is negative 8 plus 2 is equal to negative 6. Alright, so let's deal with multinomials. Let's answer the first one. Again, this is addition, so we can just cross out the parentheses, meaning just disregard them. 3x squared y is the same as 5x squared y. So we can combine the two. That equals 8x squared y. And then for the 2xy squared, I believe that's the same as this. So that's 1. We have a 2. 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. Or it's just xy squared. And then for the last two terms that are similar or like, we have negative 4x and positive x. So that's negative 4 plus 1, which is equal to negative 3x. Alright, so this is subtraction. For the first multinomial, we can just rewrite that. And then for the second one, that positive 2a squared b will now become negative 2a squared b. And then the positive ab squared will also be equal to negative ab squared because of the negative sign here. So we need to distribute that to all the three terms. And of course, last but not the least, that negative 7, you multiply negative to that will be plus 7. Alright, so let's combine the like terms. So let's start with negative 6a squared b and negative 2a squared b. So 6 minus 2 is equal to 4. And then let's consider the next two terms. So both are negative, so that means we need to add the 2. So that's negative 4ab squared. And the last terms that we will add are both positive, 4 and 7. So we can just add them. That's positive 11.